Yeah. So maybe we do just more personal,
Okay, I
like,
love that.
and just have it be about your journey. And yeah, which I love more personally because I just think people really the whole purpose of that one um is to really just give people like good examples of people that went through specific things and used specific tools and things and broke through certain mindsets and beliefs and patterns and got to it like and no one's perfect, everyone still has their stuff, but got to a place where it's like, okay, I'm actually able to show up in a lot of ways. I'm able to give back. I'm able to love more fully than I could in the past. Um, and people just need examples. Like people, I think one of the key things is seeing someone. Because for me, I remember growing up, I was like, no one is going through what I go through. Like I'm,
Especially the hard stuff nobody wants to talk about.
yeah, I'm so unique. No one has these thoughts, and like I feel like such an outcast and blah blah blah. And then the moment I started hearing people that were like, yeah, I went through that, and then like kind of used this and I did this and like now I don't feel that way anymore or I don't think that anymore. I was like, okay, I'm
It
not alone.
validates these things and then it helps heal them over time.
Yeah, because it's like you can validate them, but then if you don't see what someone's life looks like on the other side, then it's kind of like, well, how do I don't even know where I'm going and I don't know how I get there.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, I'm like, okay, I want to give everyone like just all these examples of
Yeah.
people that are doing the work.
And I think it helps too because when we're in it, that's all we can see.
Yeah,
And then to be able to say, oh, there is this, like you said, this other side.
yeah,
It it's it gives people who are still in that hardness of it. And I think again, we're all going through shit at all
yeah,
times. Like the
yeah,
hard kind of goes around and comes around. Um, and we want to relate. And yeah, I think that's beautiful.
yeah. Okay. All right, we'll start the podcast.
Okay.
Even though I could just like keep going and that could be it.
I know
And
my heart. I'm like, my heart is beating faster.
no, it's super chill. It's one of those. I like went on this guy's podcast, because I was doing a lot for like the special needs community, and I still am going to, but I like hosted a party for him, and just like they changed my life and showed me so much love. And he had me on his podcast, and it was like so formal and like just seemed so like structured, and I was like, dude, no, I don't like. I'm such a free flowing person,
Yeah.
and yeah, at least as me as a host, I'm like, I just want it to be like a genuine conversation. I want it to be like, I have all these questions listed out about like, tell me about this.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not me at all.
Yeah.
Okay, Louis, I'm gonna need you to chill, bro. Louis, sit.
Are they both yours?
No, that's my roommates,
Oh,
and then the cat, and my other cat is just disappears for days.
so sweet.
Yeah, so he's somewhere. But okay, we'll roll off. Um, okay, this is the Journey Back to Love podcast. Almost forgot what it was called. I haven't filmed an episode in a minute. And I'm Josh, and we're here with Taylor.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about her story and her life and the experiences she's been through, where it's led her, what beliefs and mindsets she's changed, and the love that she's brought in for herself. And I'm excited because I love hearing everyone's story. I think it's beautiful. So, um, I guess let's just hear like a little overview of like where you're at right now in life, what you're doing, and then we can like dive back
Okay.
into the past.
So who am I? Um, I am a mom. I always like to start there because I
Yeah.
feel like that has definitely brought me to such a like deeper part of myself in so many ways. I'm a mom. I am a wife. My husband and I have been together for 8 years, and I have gotten into this healing space a little bit. It started when I lost my daughter Willow to stillbirth at 24 weeks.
Yeah.
I was 24 weeks when I delivered her, but we don't know the exact date that she
Yeah.
passed, and we'll get to that story a little bit more. But yeah, she was the catalyst to so much of my wanting to know myself deeper, and like she opened me up to this whole different world of being able to connect with someone even
Yeah.
though they're not here physically. And that's just taken me to a place where I wouldn't have been able to imagine myself a couple
Yeah.
years ago. And really being able to see the world from such a deep place of gratitude and love and connection with others, I think is something foreign to me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I guess that's where I would say I am a little bit more today.
Lovely. So I guess like obviously I don't know where you were at a couple years ago. And I want to like lead into that, but I always love to just go to like childhood, teenage years,
Yeah.
and just what you kind of experienced, what your family life was like, what your home was like, what your relationships were like, and just what things kind of solidified moving into your adult years, going into marriage and going into family. So, like, what did your childhood look like? What did your teenage years look like?
Yeah. Childhood and teenage years were definitely non-conventional, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
Like growing up in Utah, I feel like there's a lot of people who have divorced parents, and so that's not really something that is uncommon to hear of anymore. But just the dynamic of our family, my in my high school years, which I feel like is kind of where life starts to start in a different way. I don't know
yeah,
if it's the age or just what we're going through at that age, but um, my mom was married to a man. I never called him my dad. He was stepdad, and it was a really dark in home life,
yeah,
and it wasn't really ever talked about. We, I was a kid. I didn't talk to my friends about it. I didn't talk about what was going on inside the home or what was happening. I think there was a
Did
couple
people think
friends.
you had like a good home?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay,
Like we were really good at hiding it. And I
yeah,
got really good masking skills during those years of
got
my life. I was like, everything could be burning to the ground and we can give this pretty picture to everyone else. And nobody wants to dive into it either because they don't want to have to confront this uncomfortable, like,
yeah,
up situation pretty much. Um, and I have a lot of grace looking back now and knowing that the people that were such big part of my lives, like they're going through their own life stuff too, and like
yeah,
what I experienced is my perspective, and it's how I lived in that based on how I was raised when I was a little kid. And um yeah, it was really hard. I was on dance company,
yeah,
and so that also was my outlet away from home, and that was my safe space, and I had a lot of fun there. And I actually was talking to one of my friends. She was my best friend on dance company, and me and her got together a couple weeks ago, and we're just talking about life. And we started opening up and getting really vulnerable, and like I opened up about what I was experiencing during high school, and she was like, I never would have known this. And I was like, nobody would have. I
yeah,
didn't talk about it. I showed up to practice on time. I was really good while I was there. I was had these people pleasing tendencies too, like. And so coming out of that, like I didn't really know that life could be different, and
yeah,
really that it was as bad as it was when I was in it. Like looking back, and it's been a lot of healing through that over the last couple years, and healing through what happened then has really helped me reshape my relationships to people now.
yeah,
And me and my husband, we had met in our senior year of high school, and being able to watch our relationship change over the last couple years based on how I've
Louis,
changed too.
you want to hear about her relationship in high school? I know.
He's got something to say.
Come here, buddy.
um and yeah, so I'm grateful for the things that I've been able to learn
Yeah,
from that point. And I did try to commit suicide and I had a lot of suicidal thoughts when I was in high school and even coming out of high school. And that was something that I opened up about just last year.
yeah,
And then going through that whole situation of re-experiencing it from this perspective was
Louis.
so
Sit.
healing in so many ways,
Yeah,
and also so hurtful to then me and my mom have a great relationship now,
yeah,
but there was a lot of moments, and she'll say it now too, of looking back, like, I wasn't there for you in the ways that I maybe could have been or should have been. Because when you're a child and your home life is your whole life, is what it feels like.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of experiences outside of what you know in that moment. And um, like, she's going through her own shit too still.
Yeah.
Like, she's her own person still. And I actually learned, and then becoming a parent and trying to be there for my son in ways, and also knowing that there are going to be ways that I might not be able to fully meet his needs in the way that he needs, and he's going to have things to learn from and heal from.
Yeah.
And so it's just this like cycle of being there and getting a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper as much as we can. And yeah, really grateful for tools and
Yeah.
people. And tools is such a funny word, because I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't really know if I could even necessarily call it that. But this understanding and knowing and feeling, and um, even being able to open up your mind to different concepts than before, I think is a really
Yeah.
important skill set to have, because life is ever evolving and ever changing. And
Yeah.
our life is going to be ever changing. And when we can become partners in that, instead of just kind of letting life bypass you, um, it starts to look and feel a lot different.
Yeah. What do you feel like were some big shifts for you? Like, because for me, it like I feel like life really comes down to the beliefs that you have, and obviously, when new awareness comes in about, current beliefs or thoughts that you have about yourself, about life, about relationships, and then those shift, you see your entire life shift.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, which ones for you were like, oh, these like plagued me most of my life. Like, I believed that, whether it was like you don't deserve anything, or you're not worthy of things, or just the world is not a good place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not safe. There's no good people. I'm, I'm always curious because I feel like that tells me so much about someone's story,
Yeah.
and just even what they've been through and like how it actually made them feel.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest ones for me has been, I can trust myself. I can trust that I know myself enough to know
Yeah.
that I can be there for me, and also trust the people around me. Like,
Yeah.
without trust in myself, like, because I went through this thing, I was like, okay, I can trust the people around me, but I had no trust in myself. So then I was constantly listening to what everyone else wanted
Yeah.
for me. And I was like, I can trust you. I can trust that, like, you have good intentions about that.
Yeah.
Um, but it was this belief in myself that really, like, I can't even think of the word, like, just opened up so many things of being able to trust myself in the morning, and like building up this trust in my body, and then connecting with, like, I can trust my thoughts, I can trust my um my intuition, I
Yeah.
can trust yeah, there's a lot of different ways that even just trust in itself. And it
Yeah.
takes time. Like, it sounds so easy. Like, yeah, you can stand in the
Yeah.
mirror and say, I trust myself a million times in the mirror. But if you're not really practicing that, then
Yeah.
there's not this embodiment of this belief system. And I would say another one is, it is safe to be here, and it's
Yeah.
safe to wake up in the morning and just go about the day,
Yeah.
and like trusting that the environment is safe. And I would say that those two are like pillar foundations for me.
Yeah. I honestly, that's huge. I like, there's always so many things that I look at, and then you saying that, I'm like, yeah, if I could like strip it down to one or two things, it really is that trust in, for me, like my intuition. Like the moment I was like, oh, my intuition's telling me that I shouldn't be in this relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been fighting it, and all this suffering comes from me fighting my intuition. And I'm like, why am I suffering?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, just follow it. Your intuition knows where you should go to eat sometimes. It knows what gym you should go to. It knows
Yeah. And then you
whether,
find yourself in these scenarios, and it's like, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't follow that like little
yeah,
thing. Yeah.
yeah. And then you ignore it and ignore it and ignore it, and your mind takes over. And it's like, well, I don't trust that. I'm going to trust my thoughts that, one, I haven't even cultivated like a healthy place
Mm-hmm.
for positive thoughts to come in.
Yeah.
But my thoughts don't lead me to what's for me ever. And that relationship to your intuition and discerning between what are thoughts and what is intuition. Because some people, I feel like it's like that muscle that you don't build. They're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I should go do that, but I also don't. I'm doubting it. I'm doubting. I'm doubting. And it's like,
The self-doubt. The
yeah,
self-doubt, that's a really big one.
yeah. And your intuition is the ultimate key to self doubt, like just squashing self doubt. Where it's like, no, I know that that's walking away from my company. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to doubt. It feels
And
like
you
the
could
right
sit
thing.
there for months, like, did I make the right decision? Did I make the but
Yeah.
let yourself, as you walk out the door, trust that you did. You
Yeah.
followed it, and this is where you're at now.
Yeah. And it will lead you to somewhere, and that will be the right thing for you.
Yeah.
And you can't, like, even in the aspect of making the wrong decision, you can't, if you're following your intuition, you can't. Even if it's hard, or you'd be like, well, this happened. Why did that happen? My intuition said that was a good thing. It's like, well, there's a lesson for you there.
Yeah. Well,
That,
and I think too, we try to label things as like the right way or the wrong way.
yeah.
That was a really big one for me too, was letting myself believe that there is no wrong decision here. Like, just because I choose this job over this job, like, yes, it's going to change aspects of your life, but
Yeah.
you can, you don't have to sit there and stress the whole time about, like, did I make the wrong decision?
Yeah.
Because it's just, like, every moment is just these multitude of choices that we're making every day. And it's in those big moments that you really get to see your perspective on even the microscopic things that are happening
Yeah.
around us all the time.
And yeah. And being aware of it and like choosing into those moments and like letting yourself be at peace, really, just with all decisions, being like, yeah, it's going to be what it is. And I believe that it is going to bring me something that will teach me something at the core of it. And I want to learn and I want to grow and I want to experience. So like, I'm just going to roll with whatever I choose.
Yeah. And I
And
think being able to learn peace, that comes first too.
yeah,
Because if you don't understand peace in the body, like, our body is all about sensations and energies and frequency. And if it
yeah,
doesn't understand the frequency of peace, it doesn't feel comfortable.
yeah,
And that's why there's a lot of, like, people who say we will always choose a familiar hell over an unfamiliar heaven,
yeah,
whatever that feels like to you. And only we can decide in
yeah,
ourselves.
yeah. I love that. Okay, so moving out of like teenage years, obviously you met your partner in high school.
Yes.
So I'm curious, like, how certain parts of your life, like wounds and traumas and just beliefs, how did that affect relationship? And then how did you work through those things? Because
Yeah.
I think a lot of people struggle in relationships,
Yeah.
especially if they get in relationships
Hard.
early.
Yeah.
And just like hearing that, people aren't alone and that you can like work through things
Yeah.
and get to a good place, I think is beautiful.
Yeah. I also think being in a relationship for long term, it's going to be hard because as we try to evolve and transition, we're humans.
Yeah.
We are humans of habit. We're like habitual people. And when we've built up these habits, even in relationship to another person, it's really hard to change those, and change is hard. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's uncomfortable. There's a lot of uncomfortable emotions that come up. And even uncomfortable, like, epiphanies, I guess, of like what would happen if this all fell to the ground. Because
Yeah.
it's a constant choosing of, like, am I going to be with this person in this next phase of my life, and watching the dynamic shift. And but in the beginning of mine and Sterling's relationship, he had been working through a porn addiction. And it
Yeah.
was something that had started very early in his life, and that felt like a really big part of our relationship that I didn't understand. I had never had these conversations with anyone. I didn't know how I felt about it.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, this is awful, this is terrible, this is bad. And being in Utah, like, the conversation around sexuality in general.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not even just be Utah. That's just me saying, because
Yeah.
I live in Utah. But it's the culture. I just do feel like there's these different things, and it was a little taboo, and trying to open up in conversation to other people and hearing their opinions about it, but never really having this full spectrum conversation.
Yeah.
And I felt like, right, we have to kind of start having this conversation. Where does it stem from for you? Is it coming into those habits, and we started therapy probably about a year ago, and that it's very confronting. It's very
Yeah.
confronting to be able to sit down and have these conversations with each other and talk about the hurt that's happening between the relationship. And um, for him, that's his story to tell. But from
Yeah.
my perspective, it really kept this cycle of shame going throughout our entire relationship. And it was a lot of shame in my body because I was taking it on in myself in certain ways. And of course, because it's kind of like a natural thing to personalize for
Yeah.
yourself of, oh, I'm his wife. If he is hurting me, it must be my fault in some way. And then that stemmed back to things and beliefs that had come from early childhood. And so being able to kind of rewire my brain, I guess, and my thoughts and my relationship to myself and to him in different ways, that I was able to stand in a place of supporting instead of um, judging. I think that's what I had done for so long. And I had said that I was there for him and really not. But that had been this cycle in our relationship for a while and took us down this rabbit hole. And now we've both been able to have these deep conversations that we
Yeah.
would not have had like 4 years ago. And going through this process of grief together, of us grieving in different ways and trying to be there for each other in transitions through life is, yeah, it's been interesting. But I definitely see that we're able to be there for each other more. And we've had conversations about how we can choose each other and really love each other unconditionally and what that means. And um, yeah, it's our relationship has grown and broken in different ways. And I now have this trust again in myself and in
Yeah.
life that I don't have this expectation on him to be this certain thing for me so that life can be what I am wanting it to be. Because I'm
Yeah.
creating this whole thing in my head. It's like, oh no, you show up the way that you want to show up and that you are showing up for yourself. And I'll show up the way that I'm showing up. And um, we just
Yeah.
do that together. And I love him in like ways that I used to not be able to because like I don't see him as less than or more than me in certain situations
Yeah.
because there's just no competition. It's like we're just here to love each other, and
Yeah.
we have our son now, and um, he's so fun, and watching him grow and turn into his personality and his own being is it's really beautiful. And
Yeah. How do you feel like um the changes in your life have like affected you as a mom?
I in mothering him, I've seen just instant reactions out of myself that I know that I learned from my mom, who learned it from her mom, who maybe learned,
Yeah.
however these um, just quick reactions come up. And it has had me look at how I'm perpetuating hurt. And then also, like, over the last couple years, being able to sit with myself has taught me, like, oh, I don't need to just instantly react. I can, like, sit in this and feel this and notice what my instant reaction would be and choose differently if
Yeah.
I decide to choose differently. And um, again, that's a skill set that's built over time. And so I really try not to judge people who I see, like, out in the wild, just like at the grocery store, seeing moms who are, like,
Yeah.
super tired and overexhausted and who knows the type of morning that they've had. And they're snapping at their kids a little bit. I'm like, I've been there too. I get it, and I'm still there some days. And but it does. It keeps you in this. Keeps you. At least it's kept me a little bit more accountable. Of
Yeah.
like I do truly want to show up in the best ways that I can, and that changes as he gets older, and then as we have more kids that come into the picture, and um, it's yeah. Honestly, I forgot kind of what the question was. I kind of went rambling, but
Um Yeah, I can't remember either. But I had another question, which is just as good. Um, I'm curious, like, in the aspect of tools and just things that like really helped you either really just like gain awareness of yourself, of your body, of your patterns. What things did you kind of like stumble upon where you're like, oh, that was good? Whether it's a certain book, podcasts, breath work, whatever it may be, like what was it for you that you were like, oh, this was special. This impacted me
Yeah.
so much.
Like one thing that was kind of like a um like made a big difference or impact in my
Multiple
life.
things. If there were multiple things, because for me there was multiple things. So
Yeah.
just whatever truly
Well,
shifted for you.
thinking of books, like Mary Magdalene Revealed was a
Yeah.
really big one for me. And it started and opened up this door in conversation about femininity and Christianity, and then
Yeah.
opening up this door of religion. And I had these experiences when I started breathwork. Breathwork for sure, a big
Yeah.
one. Like when
I
I
was gonna
first
say.
started getting into breathwork, I was like, this is a whole new world out here. And it's funny because it just goes deeper and deeper and deeper. And that happens as you go deeper and deeper into yourself. And
Yeah.
I think it was even just being in circle and like vulnerable conversation. And because in the breathwork groups that I was in, I was feeling deeply, and I hadn't felt in a really long time. And womb healing was a really big one for me. That's kind of where I started getting into breathwork a little bit more too. But like, there's breathwork, and I feel like there's a lot of mind work and affirmation.
Yeah.
Those are all beautiful and so important. And also the femininity portion of getting into your body, and what does being in your body even feel like?
Yeah.
Because if you don't know, then you're not going to be able to discern in a certain situation, like, am I in my body right now, or am I in my head? And or am I like just completely disassociated? And um I didn't know even the difference between that years ago. And
Yeah.
then I realized, like, oh, I've just like not really been here for a really long time. Like, I've just um kind of been walking around like
Yeah.
feeling like something else was kind of pulling me. I wasn't really living my own life.
Yeah.
And getting into womb healing, and then opening up to this whole other world, like conversation about mysticism and spirituality, and just things that like a couple years ago I would have never been able to talk
Yeah.
about with anyone. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like this, and you can feel it. You can feel when a conversation is going to be vulnerable. And I
Yeah.
think being able to sit in that and be like, and I'm interested and I'm intrigued and I want to open up to this.
Yeah.
That even just that belief for myself has opened up. And I'm trying to think of, there hasn't been one specific podcast that, well, Wake Up with Wesley is one that really, I think, I know actually. Like when I was listening to the Wake Up with Wesley podcast, I look back at the experiences that I was having in my day to day.
Yeah.
And this was before Willow. And so Willow is really like, I can see these different parts of my life where I'm like, oh, that took me into that one. And then this took me into that thing. And yeah, the conversations that Wesley was having with other people, I was like, oh, people are talking about this.
Yeah.
It's really cool. And I'm interested because it wasn't happening. Those conversations weren't happening in my day to day. It was just, I don't, it's like boring stuff. I don't even remember it now, but yeah.
But still beautiful. And like
Yeah,
the fact
exactly.
that a podcast, once again, and social media, like so many people are like social media is, inherently bad. I'm like, obviously if you're going to consume, what are you consuming? And if it's things that truly are like not something that you would get in your day-to-day life, then it's like, yeah, go consume it and go realize that there are people out there that are having these conversations, that are being vulnerable, that are changing and working on themselves and talking about things that society just does not want to talk about. And there's so many things society does not want to talk about. And for me, I want to talk about it. I'm like, everyone deserves to like just see what vulnerability in humans looks like and authenticity. Like, oh, those people are just being honest about their story and like how they weren't perfect and how everyone had shit going on in their life. And for me, I can speak for that where it's like I've hurt people. I've made decisions that like in hindsight wish I wouldn't have made, even though they did teach me the lessons and led me down the path. But I think there's so many good things out there. Like even just one podcast really can change someone's life and just even just open the door.
Oh.
Be like, hey, here's a new world. Do you want to come check it out?
Yeah.
And if so, like, come on in. I'm I had a question about womb healing. So like obviously for me, I'm not an expert on it. I don't know a ton about it, and I'm sure people watching, might not or might feel the same. Um, what does it look like to you? Like, how would you describe it? In the essence of like what you're experiencing, what does the healing look like, and what does it feel like on the other side of it?
Yeah. Um, I don't know if I could exactly describe how it feels on the other side of it because I
Yeah,
don't really know if there is another side because it is just this thing that is constantly evolving and you're
yeah,
always in it. Um, but when I stepped into the door, like for me, the stepping in the door was going to this womb healing class. I had just seen it on an Instagram post
yeah,
and I had just delivered Willow. And I didn't even really think too much into it. I was just womb healing. There wasn't much information. And I think I went to, her page, it was Colette Alosha. And I was like scrolling through her Instagram probably for a little bit and was like, yeah, sure, okay, let's sign up. And I went and um, kind of kept to myself. I going to those type of things. I saw people like have conversations with each other, and I was sometimes even still. I'm like the person. I'm like, okay, I just wanna. I'll sit here and I'll listen to the conversations, but I don't have much to say, because I'm a little bit more timid sometimes in social
yeah,
interactions. Um, and the experience that I had there, it was breath work, and she's just this magical being. Actually, she's magically
yeah.
good, and
No, I love Colette.
it was a really cool experience, and the things that she knows and the experience that she created helped me step into this world that I it was this whole thing of watching the world around me change like in an instant pretty much, and then coming back into the room and into the space and feeling more open and feeling more vulnerable and feeling like I can use my voice and I can speak out loud and I can share experiences that I'm having, and the story that I have with Willow and what I was experiencing at that time. It was really beautiful, and it helped me heal energetically and physically for sure. The way that I've seen my womb react off of the meditative states that we can guide ourselves into
Yeah,
in womb healing, um, it's phenomenal actually. Like I had a miscarriage last June, and when I went in for my first appointment, I had been sick for like 3, 4. Well, I was 10 weeks when I went to my first appointment, and I had been really sick that entire time. And when we went into the and saw the ultrasound, there wasn't a baby on the screen,
yeah,
and that caused a lot of hurt. And I was like even deep into my healing, spiritual womb healing thing. Like I had been doing it for a while, and I had a lot of anger come up. Like I've been sick for fucking 3 months, and there's not even a baby, and I've been sitting with my womb and feeling so much happening.
yeah,
Um, and then that just opened up so many doors and questions for myself of like seeing how I had held on to this thing that wasn't really there anymore because I wasn't ready to let go. And there was a cannabis meditation that Colette was leading. I've been in a lot of her spaces because she's very ethical and I trust her so much.
yeah,
And sitting there, and she, it's just like experiencing myself getting deeper into my body. And the doctors had told me that I was going to have to do a DNC, which is like they go in and they pretty much scrape out your entire uterus. And that can be the a safer option for some in some case scenarios because you want to make sure that everything is all taken. But um, also, there have been a lot of complications. And
yeah,
I've leaned into more of the space of like I don't always have to go medical route or the like biggest um, healing. I guess I don't know really how to explain it because that can work for some, but I just didn't want to do a DNC. It didn't feel like it was
yeah,
going to be the right thing for me. And during that meditation, like for me, the intention was womb healing. And I really wanted to sit with my womb and learn from her and the relationship that I built. It's funny because like I wouldn't talk about my womb this way a couple years ago, but
yeah,
I have to now because of the way that my relationship with my body has transitioned, way that I relate to others in the world, it really has impacted it so much. And during this womb healing meditation, like literally, it was just meditating and getting into your body and like allowing yourself to relax your nervous system enough and trust your body enough to just let it do what it needs to do.
Yeah.
And that night, like my body ended up doing what it needed to do on its own, and it hadn't up to that point. And that's where I really built this big belief and trust in myself and in womb healing. And then the ways that energetically it shifts, and it's still happening. Like I still go to
Yeah.
meditation sometimes. I'm like, right, there's a lot being held here. We gotta like, let's
Yeah.
work through this. Let's open up with it. So yeah, it's still something that's happening every day, and I still feel a lot of hurt sometimes, and I hurt other people too.
Yeah.
And I get hurt, and that's why it really is just kind of this. But I trust myself. Like if I'm in those deep, deep grief thoughts or deep, deep hurt that I've given someone else or that I've felt in myself, feeling that with compassion and trusting that there is like it's going to heal, and
Yeah.
it's not going to be here forever. And but then you have to sit with it, and you have to listen or feel and experience it, because that's the only way that it is going to heal.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
But it's so necessary. Like
So
the life that, at least for me, I saw this life that I dreamed about, and I was like, oh, I want to feel loved. I want to be able to like love someone fully and experience life fully. And it was like, okay, the moment I realized, I was like, if I don't feel it, if I don't sit with it, I will never get this thing. It became so obvious. It's like a kid when your parents like, okay, if you do this chore, you get to play this game or you get to go out with your friends. I was like, I know exactly what I have to do to get the thing that I want. Okay, done. I'm going to go do that. Even if it's hard, even if it's time consuming and painful and it breaks your heart, it's so much better than the alternative, which is burying it and then dealing with all the side effects. I think the biggest misconception is that it's harder to feel those things than it is to just numb out. And I'm like, I've numbed out, and numbing out is harder. Like feeling disconnected from my body, from myself, from other people, from the world, from love, from my partner. All of it is so much worse than feeling pain and sadness. I'm like, it can't kill me, so might as well feel it and like see what happens to life. Like,
And the disconnected can. That's what I learned, is being disconnected. That's where the suicidal thoughts
Yeah.
were coming in, and like feeling like I don't know if I could do this forever. I don't know how much more I can shove down.
Yeah.
That's when you have to start opening the door and being like, hey, I do need to talk about this, and I do need to open up about this. And
Yeah. And once you, at least for me, when I reached that point of like the suicidal thoughts were winning all the time, I was like, I will either die or I will go and live and feel hard things, but I will probably live. It won't kill me. So it's like, I don't feel like there's even an option at this point. It's like, clearly, I don't want to die. Like, a part of me obviously wants to die, but I don't want that to happen. That is literally last case scenario if I don't have any other option. And the moment an option is available, I'm like, I might as well try it. It can't be worse than this. Like going in and doing a breathwork session or trying psychedelics intentionally or sitting with yourself can't be worse than going and taking your life. Like, even if you're in a place where it's so disconnected and so numb, it's like, okay, well, like my thought was when mushrooms came into my life, I was like, if I did them and they killed me, then I would be right where I want to go anyway. So I might as well. And then I remember in my experience, I felt myself leaving my body and it, like the death experience. And I was like, I'm in a place where death doesn't scare me. I was about to take my life. Why would I be afraid of this? I'm going to go like see what it feels like to die. And then I felt so much release, so much beauty, so much love and peace. And I was like, okay, so I can die and then come back and actually live. Lovely. I'm going to go die as many times as I have to, like versions of me. And you probably, maybe you feel the same. Like there's so many different things that the life and death cycle needs to happen. And so I'm like, okay, relationship, that needs to die. This belief about myself, it needs to die. But something is going to get born on the other side. And like, yes, the death is painful, but the birth is beautiful, and the new life that comes after it also beautiful. So, um, I want to, yeah, love everything. I want to chat about Willow. So, what was that experience like for you, and like, how has that shaped you?
Experience was painful and deep and hard and beautiful and um, so many things. Like literally everything wrapped up into one
Yeah,
is kind of what I feel her as. Um, the experience was having to go into this the birthing process, having it look completely different than what I was planning, and when I went home from the doctor's appointment after we found out that she had no heartbeat, like, and I can walk you through the story, I guess,
yeah,
a little bit more to set a scene of, um, I had a fetal Doppler at home, and I had kind of started to feel her move a little bit, but it wasn't consistent enough to worry. But one day before work, I hadn't felt her since the day before, and I think it had been a couple days, and so I went to check, and I couldn't find the heartbeat, and I sat there for like 15 minutes, and started to feel my heart sink and like come to terms with this might be it, and then also fighting with myself like don't let yourself get there yet, like everything might be fine, be hopeful, be like have like this best case scenario attitude, and but I think there was definitely a deeper part of me that just knew in my soul,
yeah,
like this is the start of something that is going to change your life. Because I had never had the thought that I would birth my baby girl, and I'm so glad for the moments that I got to spend with her after she was delivered. But then it was also a really hard experience watching her change and feeling this deep grief in my body. It was really hard leaving her at the hospital, and that was something that was one of the hardest things I've ever felt in my life. Walking away from your child, and I wanted to just sit there forever. Like I don't want to have to leave you. I want to take you home with me.
yeah,
I want you to I want to have those moments of feeling her, and I felt her presence so strongly, and I tied that to her physical being. And so I thought by me leaving her physical body, that's me leaving her, and um, leaving and going through the grieving process of everything that my body had just experienced. And then waking up and not being pregnant anymore and having to talk about that with other people and people not really knowing. Like, people have connections to babies, I think, before they're born, but
yeah,
it's different. Like, once the once people are able to start having these memories with the child, then the connection is there a little bit stronger. But as a mother, you feel this baby growing in your body, and it becomes like your whole life a little bit. So as soon as that happened, I just felt like my entire life was changing. I had like always been in this space of thinking about what was coming and like, here's what my future is going to look like. And um, watching all of that fall to the ground right in front of me was really really hard. And I just remember sitting on the couch bawling my eyes out, like trying to catch my breath. I had never cried this hard in my life, and it was also hard because I knew that I had to feel my feelings, and nobody really knew how to be there for me.
yeah,
And my husband was watching me cry and being as supportive as he could, and there was so many people that came forward in the ways that they knew how, and that's how I got through every single day, was just knowing people are showing up in the best ways that they know, and it feels so good and it feels so loving at the same time as I'm grieving so hard. And then having the experiences that I was like feeling her presence again when I was doing the womb healing
yeah,
breath work, and then understanding she's still here, she's still a very big part of my life. And I've mine and her relationship has grown and expanded in different ways, and the way that I feel her and her presence and her spirit, I feel more of a, like, she's not a baby, she's like a middle, I think she's like 26, 27, maybe early 30s. She feels older than me,
yeah,
and she teaches me so much and has been like a guiding post in so many ways, and this light of hope. And um, I've I talked to her and prayed to. She also has helped me step into more of my spirituality. Of
Yeah.
I can pray and I can have this relationship with her, but it's not through the certain ways that I was taught my whole life.
Yeah.
Like it's different, and um, that and it's still evolving. I'm like, I know that me and her, we're like, our relationship, we're gonna get real close, we're gonna get real tight. Like, I'm gonna be able to, I get to have these moments with her, but I'm excited for the time that I get to like see her and feel her
Yeah.
physically. And I don't know if that will happen, but um, it feels good to at least know that she's there.
Yeah. Ah, that's beautiful. Which I love
I
because
love
I think
talking about her.
so many people get caught up with death, like physical death,
Mm-hmm.
as it being like the end. And the moment you start like connecting with their spirit or their soul and you feel that love, it's like, okay, you're physically not here, but you're clearly here. So I don't think there's ever going to be an end of like me feeling you, which to me brings me so much peace. Like my dad, I'm like, I'll always feel you there. And even like my grandma comes in all the time, sometimes my older brother who passed before I was born. And just the fact that I'm like, oh yeah, I know you guys are always there. Like, and even if someone died right now, I would grieve and it would be heartbreaking that I don't get to physically hold you anymore. But I'm like, no, I know that you'll always be there. And I know I can tap into you and just like feel your love for me. You can teach me so much. You can help me break through things that I'm like really struggling with. And yeah, there is a beautiful side to death that I think most people don't want to look at. But the moment you connect to it, you're like, okay, death isn't the worst thing. Like,
Well, and like you were saying too, the second that you became unafraid of death, life started to open up from there, and you're
yeah,
not afraid of things like dying or changing. Because again, the dying process, it's they're evolving a little,
yeah,
and like we're evolving, and the things that are um, changing. I think we do have this fear around death
yeah,
because I think if we, it's hard. It's hard to come to terms with. Um, we just don't talk about it. We haven't
no,
been taught. We haven't like we don't have this relationship with death, and it sounds weird to like
have,
say, oh yeah, let's create this relationship with death. But I think it's a beautiful thing that's
yeah,
really gonna help the um just life in general.
yeah,
When I think about like the dying process, I'm like, okay, yes, it's happening in our everyday life, but also on a worldly scale. Like things are dying, concepts are dying,
yeah,
beliefs are dying, and we need to allow that to happen to allow that new life to
yeah.
flourish.
And we know death is inevitable in all things. It's like plants, in ourselves, in like things in your life, relationship, all these things. Like eventually it will die.
Mhm.
And my perspective of death in those moments, so many people are like, oh, that's heartbreaking that things end. And I'm like, I truly believe if there was no death and it was just life, people would not appreciate anything. There would be nothing would be sacred or special. You'd be like, well, I'm always gonna have you. I literally don't have to like put in effort, any effort, and knowing that it could be your last time holding someone,
Mm.
it could be your last time kissing someone, talking to someone,
Yeah.
seeing someone, being around them, and feeling their love in a physical form makes you appreciate the present moment so much. Where it's like, I don't know, so I'm gonna be real present with the people I love, because yeah, you could die tomorrow, and even then, I'll still tap in and I'll still feel you, but death is necessary for life.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that we all know death is going to happen and we still ignore it is absolutely wild.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, everyone knows that they're going to die. And yet there's so much fear of and uncertainty, obviously, of like what happens and this and this and this.
Yeah.
And if you just have even any trust or peace in the fact that like it is just a changing process, like you said, and it's not like an ending of like, oh, I cease to exist or this or that. And even then, I'd be like, you wouldn't be aware that you don't exist, so it wouldn't even be bad.
Yeah.
Like, there is no bad scenario with death outside of like grief and feeling like, oh, I have to let go. And most people, coincidentally, struggle to let go. They hold on to everything, and death is like, hey, stop holding on. I'm going to teach you that holding on does not do you any good. It makes you suffer. And the moment you just surrender to life and to death itself, life becomes so beautiful because it's like, oh yeah, my time in this place is going to end. My time with this person is going to end. I'm gonna soak it in. Like I'm really just gonna I'm gonna hold them like it is my last time every single time.
Yeah.
And if everyone did that, life would be so beautiful for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, I'm like, if that's a message I could give to everyone is like build a relationship with death and letting go. If you do, literally, there's nothing that's going to make you like suffer because you will just be able to surrender to it and be like, it is what it is. I cannot control it. And death is going to happen. I can't control that, but I can find beauty in it and I can let go and I can even grief. People want to run from grief and numb out. And I'm like, grief is beautiful. You get to feel all of the love that you have for that person or that thing, whatever it may be. Like your pet dies and you just want to bawl your eyes out. I'm like, bawl your eyes out. Feel all of that love that you have for your pet. And if you're ever struggling, like open your heart to grief and be like, oh, I miss them. And I want to feel how much I miss them because that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
So, and I wish more people could see that and really feel it and just experience it because I don't know, there's so many gifts in this life. And in my opinion, death is a gift, and most people are not gonna like that. That's okay, but to me, it is.
Yeah.
So, um, okay, so we'll wrap up everything. And I like to end with just a message that you want to give to the world, to the people watching. Like, what's something that you want them to hear?
Oh, I would say, finding connection to your breath is going to be one of the most transformative things you have ever done with your time. And even if it's just 10 minutes a day, 15 minutes a day, and finding commitment and devotion to you really diving deep into yourself and into your life is going to open and having this excitement in living. And if you're not there yet, if you're not excited about living, then having the true conversation with yourself about maybe how you could get yourself there, or maybe why that is, or how to open that door. And yeah, just hug your friends, connect with people, like look them in the eye. I know sometimes it's like
Yes,
socially awkward. I never used to look people in the eye, but be with your people, be with your friends.
love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Um, my message is just gonna back that up. Like, truly, just tell people how you feel about them. Like, if you love someone, tell them. If you want to hold someone, tell them that you want to hold them. To just, or even just go give them a big bear hug. Like we hide so much because it's like that's uncomfortable, that's vulnerable. But like, go do it. Like, if you know you're a safe space and you have good intentions, go show love to people and just like show up and make them feel loved because you never know what someone is going through. Chances are that, I mean, not even chances, there's 100% chance that they need your love. And to hold back and say, I don't know, that might be too much, I might be too much, it's just a lie that we've told ourselves. And I just want people to show up and show the love that they have without attachment, without expectation, um, because they care about people and they want them to feel loved. Like your parents, if you love them, go give them a hug. Your family members, your siblings, your friends, like go give them a hug and just tell them you love them. That's not weird. It won't even be uncomfortable. Like someone might be not used to hearing it. They might be like, ah, that's foreign, but like they need it. People need it. And for me, I'm like, I'm going to live my life that way. So that's my challenge to everyone. And the other challenge is 10 minutes of breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, go breathe. I need to do that.
Consciously breathe. We so unconsciously breathe all the time. It's just happening, you know? Our lungs are really smart.
Yeah.
But to sit and consciously just like let your mind quiet for just a minute and like, oh, the only thing that I'm focused on right now is just what's happening here.
Yeah.
Because
Which,
we're very distracted. We're very distracted.
yeah, it's
people.
what's happening out there? What's happening a few countries away? What's happening in my
Something that
friends?
I've learned too is like how there is such a big inclination to want to be of help and to want to be of service. And if you don't feel and know what you need for yourself, it's harder to show up for other people. So it's not selfish to start here and then move from there.
Yes. Amen. It's not selfish. Take that. If that is the one thing that people take away, then that would be beautiful. It's truly so selfless. Well, it's selfish in a good way. Like, there's the positive side of the coin of selfish, where it's like, you want to show up great for people, then like you have to show up for yourself. You have to be selfish. You have to be selfish with your time and your energy and say, I can't give to everyone unless I'm giving to myself. I need to fill my bucket and then go pour my bucket out to other people and then come back home, fill my bucket, and then go pour it out and let that cycle continue. And other people will be able to fill your bucket easier if you're filling your own.
So true. Allowing yourself to receive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Others fill your cup too.
Yeah, that is, oof, that's the theme. I think a lot of people struggle with
Yeah.
receiving.
Yeah.
But thank you so much. Honestly, that was beautiful.
It was
I learned so much about really myself and just about life. And I think that's why I even started the podcast, is because hearing people's stories and their perspectives and what they've been through just opens the door for me, where I'm like, "Ah, I didn't ever really think about that thing that way. And now I feel like I've gotten a gift from you that I can just be like, I'm going to carry this
Yeah.
and like approach my life in a new way." So,
Well, things that you were saying, I'm like, that hits deep. That's like all these little takeaways, like these dings. And I'm like, so powerful.
yeah,
Such a beautiful space. And you really are incredible. Like the way that
thank
you
you.
talk and you're open and vulnerable, and you know that that's your whole thing. And this is
I
wonderful.
appreciate that. Yeah, I just want to give that to the world. I think the world just needs more vulnerable people. And so, like, you showing up, being honest, being authentic, and just like having so much love for even yourself in the world. Like, no one's perfect. No one has like 1,000% love all the time for themselves. But just how you show up in life, what you want to do with your life, and like using your pain for purpose and seeing like what you want to do, and how you're approaching things like breath work and even womb healing. I'm like, oh yeah, I would like, people need Taylor.
Even without a womb, there's womb healing.
Yeah.
It's a part of your body. And then we start talking about energetic frequencies. And like, I nerd out on that stuff. I get so excited about
Yeah.
it.
Ooh, we could dive into a billion
We'll talk
things.
about energy frequencies and womb healing and all
Yeah, I know. I just want like a part of the podcast to be like a chatty one, where it's like not necessarily personal story, but just like, hey, let's talk about this thing.
that. Yeah.
We're both very passionate about it. Let's dive into it. And then even just posting on social media, I want people to chime in and like go and chat about comments and just be like, yeah, I want to hear people's opinions. I want to see their perspectives. There's no wrong perspective. For me, I just love understanding. So it's like, I want to hear your perspective on energy and frequency and how that looks to you in the body, in life, in romantic relationship, in law, like in attraction, the law of attraction,
Mm-hmm.
all these things. Yeah,
I'm like getting so excited.
I could dive into that. Yeah.
I know, that sounds like a really fun topic to have.
Yeah. So I'll have to have you back. We'll have to just have a chatty time, which I would be so stoked for.
Fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna close this out. I just want to say I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much love for you as a person, and just
Feelings mutual. That's
thank you.
people cannot get this open without you being the first. So
I appreciate that.
beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you for showing up. And I'm just excited to see where you go in life. Like, I love watching people's stories unfold, not just the past, but also the present and what may come. And I see so much good radiating from you that I'm like, whoever crosses Taylor's path, you're going to be lucky
Oh.
and you will be blessed and you will feel seen and loved. Like, you are such a present person. And so I think for anyone to know you, it's going to be a gift really for them. And so I want people to be like, okay, who's Taylor? I feel like I'm getting a grasp of her and like she's radiating so much light. I want people to go follow you. I want people to come to your events. Like, whatever you do, I want to support you, because I'm like, I can't do everything alone. You can't do everything alone, but we can support each other.
Yeah.
And that's where the world changes. So yeah, I'm excited. Okay. Well, I love you guys. And I will see you next time.